September of last year. So I've had some pretty good runtime on it. And if you've been following my videos, you know that I've recently purchased a Techno SCTE 410. So I think that truck's pretty much going to be my new short course truck. I want to put some time into that truck and get that thing tuned and dialed in. Well, I had this perfectly good SCTE MIP conversion. Had a little bit of wear on it, but I've definitely maintained it, and I've decided to convert it. Now, this is not my idea by any means. I've seen a couple of places where this thing has been in full function. The first time I saw it was with Squirrel on YouTube. If you're familiar with YouTube, you know Squirrel out there. He converted this first. He decided to take an SCTE and transform it into an 8-scale buggy. And he called it Project Recon, I believe, and mounted a camera on it and all sorts of other stuff. The other innovator of this idea is definitely MIP. They are currently testing this buggy out pretty much in the same setup that I have here. They are machining and making some of their own parts. However, I just kind of farmed out some of these parts through existing sources that are available that you could do pretty much as well. So I'm going to go over what parts I use to convert my SCTE MIP conversion into an 8-scale buggy. So I haven't got it all complete yet. I'm still waiting for one major part to come in, and then obviously wheels and tires will come next. But let's quickly go over the parts I use to make this all work. The first thing that is definitely different on an 8-scale buggy is you don't have a body or a short course body anymore, so you have to put on that rear wing. This is the model number of the wing set. Let me scoot this on in and focus for you guys. And this is LOSB 2505. Now, a lot of these parts are going to be for the 810. Now, that was Losi's old 8-scale buggy they had out. I believe it was a nitro. I don't know all the history of the 810, so bear with me on that. But this will basically give you the wing mount and also the body mounts that you'll need to mount a buggy body. So I think this was like $3 or $4. Not too bad. Next thing you will need is a front bumper, because you want to get rid of both front and rear bumpers. And this is part number LOSB 2403. Now it comes with this other crap, tank guard set for the 10T. Well, that was also another 8-scale buggy, I believe, that Losi had come out with. I might be incorrect on that, but it does have the front bumper that you'll see when I show it to you here in just a few minutes. Another thing you will need is a wing. I just chose a Proline wing. This is a 6023-04. I haven't tested it, so I'm kind of winging it on this. No pun intended there. We'll see how this one works. This is a high downforce wing in white. I think they have black too. And the last thing that I added here was the 810 body. This is LOSB 8036. Now, some of these parts might be hard to get a hold of, but I believe A-Main and a few of the other ones had them in stock, as well as Nitro House, so definitely check some of those areas. The last thing that's going to be really difficult to get a hold of are going to be the 17mm hex adapters, so you can mount, instead of short course wheels, you can mount 8-scale buggy wheels. Now, that kind of looks a lot bigger because I had it held up there, but pretty much they're almost the same size. The 8-scale buggy wheels are going to be obviously a larger wheel and a little bit larger tire as well. So, and then obviously a 17mm hex adapter is used to mount those in. You'll see here that's a 12mm hex, and this is a 17mm hex to mount those two. So you will need those. I did find a company. It's called M2C. They are sending me a set of their 17mm hex adapters for the SCTE. They make it specific, so I will have those here in a couple days, and I'll be able to mount those on and get the wheels and tires on. Now, pretty much that's basically it. You're going to have about a 5.5, 6 pound, maybe 6.5 at the most, 6.5 pound buggy, 8-scale buggy. A lot of them out there are weighing, 7.5, 8 pounds. So this thing is going to be super fast. You're going to be able to run it on 2-cell LiPo, on 2-cell electronics. So right now I have an RX8, and I do have the new Pro4 HD 4300 in it that I will be testing out with this thing. So let me take the body off real quick. Let me show you some of the electronics. Kind of already listed them off, but you can kind of see them here. And this thing should fly. Really can't wait to start testing this thing out. You'll see the Pro4 4300 right there. That thing should have plenty of torque to move this buggy. I also did convert back to the TLR tuning kit carbon towers, and I'll show you why in just a second. And you'll see the RX8 over here. Pretty much all standard short course stuff. And you'll see the TLR tower in the front there. Now these little doohickeys here, these are actually from a HPI Vorza. They happen to fit on there, and that's just going to do a little protection there in case I do flip over, especially with testing and whatnot. So I have the same setup as far as shocks. I'm still running 50 weight in the front, 45 in the rear, and we'll just see how it runs. I have no idea how this thing's going to run out of the gate. As far as the towers, I kind of mentioned that earlier. The MIP towers are quite wide. I mean, you can see how wide they are. Plus, they're only 3 millimeter thick. The TLR ones are 4 millimeter. I think it's just going to beef it up a little bit for an 8-scale buggy. And you can kind of see here, I'm going to try and flip it on there, but it's just this wide, huge carbon tower that I just think will end up getting broke. So anyways, I went back to the TLR tuning kit ones. I can't wait to run this thing. So still waiting for the adapters, and then I'm going to get a hold of a set of wheels and tires for a clay track so I can run it on a clay track. I'm going to run it on 2-cell LiPo, and I think this thing is going to fly. I mean, my SCTE flew. I don't see why this wouldn't. So anyways, wanted to bring you guys that. I've been having fun kind of tinkering and trying to get the correct parts over the last few weeks now, and I can't wait to do it. So if you have any questions about this, please throw it on down below, and as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.